Humanity is at a crossroads. Can you guys feel that right now? It doesn't take a psychic or someone with super special abilities to recognize that the state of affairs that we're living in today are not something that is sustainable for the long run. So what I believe is happening right now is that we are coming to a close of an era, and we're at the beginning of a new one. And as we transition and we phase transition from one era to another, there is chaos that's embedded, and we are right in the middle of that chaos. And the only way that we can make sure that we actually jump into a new paradigm and that we actually move into a golden age is by taking care of our own point of consciousness and raising our level of consciousness to the highest that it can possibly be. So this is what we are put on this planet right now to do, is we have to make sure that our light is shining at the brightest capacity that we have, so that we can be that beacon of hope for someone else to look at us and say, oh man, I need to be able to to raise my level of vibration. So through resonance, we'll start to have a ripple effect on society, so that we don't wind up at an extinction level event. So right now the planet is falling apart. If you look at it, I think scientists said that they don't expect there to be any fish in the ocean by like 2050 or something like that, which is not that far away. I mean, that is really startling news based on how fast we are just destroying the population. And there's more and more species that are going extinct every day than ever before. I think 70% fewer species than in the 1970s or something like that. I'm just trying to remember this off the top of my head, so I'm not 100% with that, but it's insane how fast we are seeing species being destroyed, and we are 100% to blame. It's humanity that is doing this, because we are we're on a bad track right now. So it takes you and me and everyone else who is awake to keep raising the vibe. We've got to bring it up, baby. We got to make sure that we are the stewards of this planet, so that we can bring in this new earth, and we can bring in this new earth paradigm where there is peace, there is no wars, there are no one's in poverty anymore, that there's no more disease on this planet. And it starts with us. And I believe that the way that we get out of this is by making sure that we are as clear of a channel as we could possibly be, so that our spirit has something that it can sit in, and it can operate this machine of a body in this three-dimensional reality, and it can do it to the highest level possible. And so that means that we got to clean this out. We have to make sure that our human body is here to be able to operate on the highest level of capacity out there. And we can't do that if we're broken, if we're sick, right? You ever try to help someone when you're feeling bad and you're feeling sick? You ever get a friend call you and say, hey, can you help me move? You're like, oh my gosh, that's a heck of a deal if you're feeling good, let alone what happens if you're feeling ill. What if your body is broken down? You couldn't help them if you wanted to. How about emotional support? Someone needs you to be there for them emotionally, but if you have your own stuff that's going on, you're in pain, you have your own emotional baggage, you're broken down, your body is not doing well, how well are you going to be able to help them? You can't, right? Because your light is it's so dim that it can't shine and help anybody else out. So we have to make sure that our bodies are taken care of first. And we have to clean ourselves out. We have to stay connected, remove the interferences that are obstructing us from being able to connect to our higher selves, and to be able to express life to this fullest potential that we have within us. And that's gonna take effort, and that's gonna take focus, and that's gonna take a new learning, right? It takes practice to turn your health into a hobby, and that's what's going to be required of us. So when we do this, we're going to be able to up level by making changes to the foods that we're consuming, and then paying attention to the foods that we are no longer consuming. so that we don't support industries that are damaging the planet and damaging us, right? Because what damages the planet also damages us. What damages us also damages the planet, because it is a broken human being that comes up with these terrible ideas and puts them out there. So sick individuals are the ones making these ideas that are damaging the earth, that are causing pollution, that are killing animals by the millions. It comes from a sick perspective, right? It comes from a competition-based perspective. It's not coming from a cooperative, holistic mindset. That takes a different level of consciousness that you don't get if you are sick, damaged, broken, and your body isn't connected, right? So even those of us who are connected and we're on that path to reaching higher levels of consciousness and are more enlightened than others around us, and are continuing that path of growing and expanding that light within us, even we have to make sure that we are getting even better, so that we can continue to guide and pull others along with us on this path through resonance, right? Resonance is that concept of frequency and vibration, that when you have a vibrational harmony with something else, that it starts to light that up. It's like if you ting a wine glass, right, or a crystal glass, all the other crystal glasses will start to hum and chime as well, because you hit that resonant frequency of the crystalline structure, and everything else that is in that same frequency is in resonance, and it starts to also vibrate in harmony with it. So we have to raise up our resonance and our frequency to a higher level, so that we can start to pull other people who are close by up to that level. And that's where we need to be focused on, and that comes from clearing out our channel, making sure that our nervous system is free of interference, making sure that the toxins that have been built up and accumulated in our body we get out, and we stop accumulating and by consuming the toxic junk that is coming into our body. We protect ourselves from the pollution that is around our environment, also the thought pollution that is within our own internal environment, and then the environments that we hang out around. All of this is connected. It's all one. We're all part of this planet on Mother Earth, and we have to make sure that we are doing our part to take care of ourselves by reconnecting with Mother Earth and making sure that we are able to be the stewards to guide in this new era. So I want you guys to take it upon yourselves to pick up the torch. Start treating yourself better. Start consuming raw fruits and vegetables. Start kicking the old habits of eating meat and processed foods. Like, that's no longer going to serve us moving forward. We can't do that. We got to operate from a whole new level. We got to make sure that our nervous system is free of interference. So you got to find a chiropractor who's on board with that, who understands that, so that you can get reconnected to that source energy inside of you, so that your seat of your soul actually has a place to connect up, so that your body can start to heal. You need to start meditating. You need to make sure that your mind is clear and that you can start to see not only the world around you, but you can start to get calm and start connecting to that oneness of the entire universe that has the universal consciousness that we are a part of, and that we are a perspective of, that we are a conscious being looking back at the universe that's being created, to be able to cultivate that oneness and that mindset of the wholeness. So these are some things that we have to start focusing on more than anything else in our life. This matters first. If we don't do this first, there may not be a next time. We may not be around in 30 years to see the damage that we've done. So we need to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves so that we can heal and we can reach the highest level.